Yay Networks.
Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Brit Mogensen, and we've got a really fun episode for you today. So I am reading the birth chart, tarot cards, and doing location astrology for comedian and podcast host Grace O'Malley. So if you guys already follow Grace, you may have heard her talk about this reading on episode 199 of the Plan Bri Uncut podcast that she co-hosts with her best friend, Bri Paglia, over on Barstool. After listening to that episode, Bri actually brought up some really good points that I want to be sure to address with you guys. I love that she was very conscious of what was being said and how Grace was interpreting the reading. Grace said that she had a great experience, but when we have a reading, we interpret things in different ways. And so I just want to tell you guys before we listen to this reading, before we talk about or go any further with astrology in general, I want you guys to know that anytime you get a reading, whether it's tarot or astrology, it's a tool. It's meant to inspire you. It's meant to be a nudge from the universe. You are the only one who taps in with your own intuition to interpret the reading the way that it's meant for you. And if you don't like the reading, guess what? The good news is you have free will. You are a powerful being. You are made of stardust, for goodness sakes. You can change it at any time. So I just want you guys to know that. Stay empowered because you are magic. All right, let's get to the reading. Grace O'Malley, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
So Grace, your birth chart is amazing. There are so many cool things in your chart. Is this your first time ever getting a reading done?
I went one time when I was 13, on my 13th birthday. I went, and then I went and got my palms read recently. And I did feel like I might have gotten scammed.
Oh no.
Well, yeah.
Well, I saw on the Plan Bri podcast where you're a co-host that you guys were talking about trying to get a tarot reading. And then I was like, all right, we got to see if we can give her a real reading. Cause yes, there are some super scammy, weird people out there. I always say I'm not a psychic. Basically anybody could read a birth chart. It's just learning how to read a map or it's, so we're all intuitive basically. But okay, cool. Good to know. So you've done a little bit, but this is going to be your first kind of in-depth reading. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So if you have any questions as we go, let me know and stop me at any point. Before we dive in, is there anything that you want us to focus on? Because we have all of your placements here for love, career, basically everything.
Those two off the bat.
Okay. She's those two. Okay, those are good places to start.
The top tier.
Yeah, right? Everyone's we'll start there. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into it then. So you have a birthday coming up, right? You're a Scorpio sun, and you were born on the 27th, which makes you a 9 energy Scorpio. Now, 9 energy, basically, that just has to do with the date of birth, obviously. So anybody born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th is going to have a 9 energy personality. I was born on the 9th, so I have that too. So I was like, oh my God, I feel like she's a soul sister already. 9 people are loving. They're really kind, compassionate. They're also ruled by Mars. So there's a side that's really a go-getter within you. You also are somebody who could get along with all walks of life. You probably could be friends with just such a range of people because the 9 includes all the other numbers. 9 is the last one in numerology. So it's you get the 1s, you get the 2s, the 3s, the 4s. It's just an energy that it's an old soul. They can be friends with everybody, that kind of vibe. So right off the bat, you have that going. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to ask, do you feel like you're the same way since you're in the same? Yeah.
Yes. I feel I have to, I don't know, I can be friends with anybody. I have friends of all ages, all walks of life, all careers. And I don't know, I'm just a people person, which is why I think I do this.
Yeah.
But also 9s have to be careful because on the dark side, we can get taken advantage of because we'll see the best in everybody.
Hence getting scammed.
Oh my God, getting back to getting scammed.
Yeah.
And so 9s don't get scammed. Okay. If you're also a 9 listening or watching, do not get scammed. Yeah. 9s can get scammed, but it comes from a good place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally resonate with it, which is why also when I watch Plan Bri, I watch it on YouTube. I love the show. I love you both.
Oh,
And
thank you.
yeah, I love it. You guys are so genuine, so real, so honest. Reminds me of like when I was in my 20s. And you, like, I just recognized the 9 energy right away. I was like, I feel like she might be born on like the 9th or the 18th. But yeah, 27.
That's good. Okay, cool.
So yeah, so you definitely have that energy. It's like a number though of an old soul. So you might also find that you have a really good intuition about things. And that's also in your birth chart. So if we look at your chart, okay, so your rising sign is Cancer, and that's a water sign. And Cancer ruling your first house is like someone who's just very naturally emotionally attuned. So you could probably walk into a room and like feel the vibe right away. There's 12 houses in our birth chart, and each of them rules like a different part of our life. And the one, like the first house, it's like self. So having Cancer ruling your house of self, it's like you really kind of come across and identify as a Cancer when you first meet people. It's sort of your mindset. Like it's really who we are, sometimes even more than our sun sign, which is why a lot of people, I think, don't really get astrology. And they're like, this is BS, because it is. If you don't like do your real chart with like birth time and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
So for you as a Cancer rising, you're somebody who is very emotionally connected. You're really empathic. It's a very psychic energy. So your intuition is probably super strong. And also people see you as someone that they can talk to. Do you feel like you resonate with like that water sign Cancer, like emotional energy, kind of like with your mindset at least?
Oh yeah, no, yes. Quite emotional over here.
Yeah, I feel you. It's also a 9 thing, by the way. 9s can be we're very strong, but we're also like equally as dramatic and emotional. But sometimes we hide it. But.
Self-aware of it though.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right. And everybody in our birth charts like has different good, bad challenges, whatever. So yeah, self-awareness. That's what
Are
it's
you
all
having a
about.
cocktail? Should I have one too?
Girl, yes, please do.
All right, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll join
Good.
you.
Cheers.
Got it all lined up. I wasn't sure what the vibe was.
Yeah,
Cheers.
right. Oh my God. The vibe is relaxed.
Perfect. 3:00.
That's right. It's 3:00. There you go. 2:00 here, but hey, whatever. So yeah. So like your rising sign, you come off as emotional, but that's also how you see the world. You're very compassionate. All right. So then we go to like your sun sign, and your sun sign is like your purpose here in this life and like kind of how you show up. So if you think about everybody like sitting at a table, your sun sign represents like the dish you're bringing to the table, like what you brought to the potluck. It's like just your vibe. It's really kind of how other people see you, how you interact with the world. And for you, that's Scorpio. So that's somebody who's like very powerful, very strong. And also, again, there's that water sign energy of like super intuitive. So the fact that you have 2 out of 3 of your big 3 zodiac signs in a water energy means that you're like very tapped in to like people's feelings, kind of what's going on. Do you feel like you resonate with all of that so far?
It's a strong and powerful one, not so much.
Okay.
But I maybe that goes into a smaller, less broader scheme of things. I'm
That's good.
learning.
That's good. That's good. I'm okay. So we'll look at that in your chart because you're turning 25, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the birth chart, it's like kind of what it's supposed to be like a snapshot of our lives. And so there are certain elements that kind of describe like who we're becoming or who we might find ourselves to be later in life. Like when I look at my chart, I'm like, oh, wow, that's me. But when I was in my 20s, I was like, I don't resonate with some of this. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
We'll
interesting.
see
Okay.
as it unfolds. After your Saturn return, that's when you kind of solidify into like your, I don't know, kind of like who you were meant to become. But
what are we returning from Saturn?
The Saturn return for you, it's going to be, let me see, I wrote this down. Hold on, because it's different for everybody.
I've got a lot of questions.
No, ask the questions, please. Oh my God, please. I feel like I'm just like yapping at you. Okay, let's see. So you have Saturn in Aries. Aries rules your 10th house of career. So you have a huge emphasis on your career in this lifetime. Saturn will be in Aries again from May 24th, 2025 to September 1st of 2025. Then it'll take a little break. Then it'll come back for a longer stay, February 13th, 2026 to April 12th, 2028. So this has been the warm up, my friend, because you're about to have some major transformation that I think you're going to love. Because for you having Saturn in the 10th house, that's a really good place. Some people are scared of their Saturn return because they're like, oh no, is something bad going to happen? And depending on where it falls for you, yeah, it can be difficult. But in the 10th house, it's actually about building stability in your life and having more responsibility. So it's like usually a promotion or like launching a brand. That really is going to be something for you. Career is going to really come into focus. But it's already starting because the North Node is also in Aries right now, your 10th house. Your 10th house is like really active right now.
Oh, we're cooking.
You're cooking. Girl, you are cooking. And that will be, let's see, happening from, so July 18th, 2023 to January 11th, 2025. That's when the North Node, which is basically like, kind of like puts everything, like supercharges everything, that is going to be in Aries in your 10th house. So right now you have it going on. So this is like the time when you're kind of stirring things up. And then I think that it's going to really like solidify when we hit that Saturn return. But I can email you the dates too. If you want me to.
I'm going to keep those on lock.
So you have them.
Like, put that in the calendar.
Like, oh yes. The cosmic calendar, baby. All right. So, so you have your moon in Capricorn though. We got to talk about that. So having a Capricorn moon, basically like that kind of flips the script on your chart. So you have like these two water sign energies. The first one is very sensitive. It's your rising sign, kind of like how you feel on the inside, but how you look at life, how other people see you sometimes when they first meet you. Your Scorpio sun, that's really what you're embodying. And the sun sign is what we're meant to like kind of grow into as well. And then your moon sign though, this is like your very, very core. Only probably your best friend will see this, your family or people that you let in, like in a really serious way. And that's Capricorn for you. Capricorn is the most ambitious sign of the zodiac. It's what we need to feel fulfilled emotionally, our moon sign. So for you, power and success these two things are really important for you to feel fulfilled. So for you, those things are actually linked to your emotional fulfillment. And it's not like that for everybody, but in your chart, it shows that. So would you say that you kind of feel that way and like you're more practical when it comes down to it and like patient with like trying to build things emotionally?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me sound like Jeff Bezos or something, but I think more in like
you don't even know the half of it yet. Yes, your chart is basically like Jeff Bezos. I'm serious.
Word.
Wait till you get to your 10,000. It's like, no, you're definitely building success. I would say this lifetime for you is a lot about building success. So, okay, cool though. Okay, so you do feel that way. All right. And then your Mercury, which is the way that you think about things, is in Scorpio. So you're someone who really sees the details. Sometimes you might not like it because Scorpio can see through things. And sometimes that sucks. My moon is in Scorpio. So I'm similar in that way where I can see through the BS. So sometimes, you pull back from certain people or situations where you wish that you could just be like, who cares, and just jump in. But with Mercury and Scorpio, it's like you see everything. You see the layers. Scorpio is the sign of kind of like seeing the taboos, seeing what's hidden. It's almost like people probably wonder, like, how did she know that about me? Even if you don't say it, you kind of give off that energy of knowing things. And then Venus in Scorpio as well. And that is very serious because when it comes to love and relationships, for you, you also have that intensity. It's a smoldering intensity. And I have that placement too as well. So I'm just saying, like, I get it. It's very valuable though. Like you're very loyal, it's great, but it can be tough. So we'll talk about your like houses and stuff. So far, how are we feeling? So far, thoughts.
That adds up. I will say. Yeah.
I'm so glad. Okay.
Fascinating.
Isn't it though? It's kind of crazy.
It is.
I love this stuff. I'm kind of obsessed. 'Cause it's really weird how dead on it'll be for people. All right. So let's look at like your houses that have the most energy, which is the focus of like this lifetime, this incarnation. Because as we know, you may be the reincarnation of Grace O'Malley, the famous pirate queen. So
yes, ma'am.
Just saying, she's back in this lifetime and she's working on this other stuff though.
A different ship we're sailing.
A different ship, exactly. Exactly.
It is actually kind of funny though. Like the drink that we have is pirate water.
Okay.
And like nobody even brought that up until like we didn't know the name of it or anything. And they're like, this is you. And I said, well, I don't know if you guys know, but the Irish badass pirate is Grace O'Malley.
That is so great. Like, honestly, that freaks me out a little bit because it's just like, I mean, because you do have a 9 energy birthday. And I'm just saying, sometimes like the old soul thing, it's all about reincarnation. That's just a little on the nose, don't you think? That's nuts.
I would say so.
What are the odds that pirate water would be what they brought you? Yeah. Maybe we can.
It's kind of freaky, actually.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's for the best. So I read about her a little bit last night. I was like, oh, she's really badass. She didn't bow to the queen. Have you read about her? You have, right?
Yeah.
She's so cool. She
she really is cool.
Badass. They're like, people are like, they don't know if she was a villain or a hero, but like she's a legend or something. I was
kind of love that.
Okay, yes. And your birth chart has a lot of that vibe. So you could be the reincarnation. All right. So for your 5th house, so like that's like love and dating. Okay. And you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets in your 5th house. It's a huge focus for you. It's the most packed of all the houses. So the 5th house is like dating. It's also creativity and it's like kids, but we don't need to talk about that yet because I feel like you're not really thinking about kids at this moment. No, we'll talk about that later. So you have your 5th house ruled by the zodiac sign of Scorpio, which means that zodiac sign is kind of going to color the experiences that you have when it comes to dating and creativity. It's all about transformation. So your dating life now is going to look a lot different from how it's probably going to look in the next few years. Like when you have your 5th house ruled by Scorpio, dating and creativity, like you may start off in one place, but you're going to end up in a totally different place. So it's all about evolving your mindset. You're having transformative experiences in that 5th house. And you have your sun, which is like your Mercury, the way you think, Venus, planet of love and romance, and Chiron, which is the wounded healer, all in that 5th house. So, I mean, when I saw this, I was like, okay, so this is really fun because the 5th house is creativity and dating and like joyful experiences. So the fact that that's a big focus for you is awesome because you're going to be doing a lot when it comes to like having fun, having the opportunity to be creative. But having Chiron there means that it's also going to be a place where you're kind of transforming as far as overcoming things that are difficult for you. It's like you're kind of bringing it all together in the 5th house and it connects to other houses too. So having like, let's say, okay, having your 7th house ruled by Capricorn, that contains the moon and Neptune. So because this is going to go a little deep, but because you have the 7th house ruled by Capricorn, this is kind of how I see it playing out for you in your chart. Capricorn is like something that lasts forever, but it's delay. Capricorn, the 7th house of partnerships, which connects to that 5th house. If you have your 7th house ruled by Capricorn and people who have this placement, probably if they're listening, they're like, yeah, I feel that. You might not end up getting into a commitment until later in life because Capricorn is like the goat and it's like, it's always climbing up that mountain. And so later in life, you usually end up connecting with that person and that's going to be something stable. That's an earth sign. But in the 5th house with Scorpio, it's like right now you're like digging shit up, you're transforming, you're learning about yourself, you're learning about these experiences. So it's almost like it's not time until after that Saturn return to get into a super committed relationship because who you are now probably won't be who you are like in 3 to 4 years.
That checks out.
Right? Like, because I know on the podcast you talk about you're like, not meeting anybody to date or whatever. And this doesn't mean that you won't. I mean, you can meet someone tomorrow, have an awesome time and like learn a bunch of stuff from each other. Chiron, activated. But I just think that like stability, commitment, and like finding that person that you're going to like want to, long haul be with. I just think because your birth chart is so active with transformation, it's nothing bad. It has nothing to do with you. It's just like, it's just not the time yet. Because if you committed to someone, you might not even be interested in them in a few years. This is kind of about you first. Like your life is sort of about you first. And if we look at your 10th house, you have your 10th house ruled by Aries. And Aries is like, the trailblazer, the fire starter, the warrior. And that's career. And that's all about you. Aries is all about themselves. And so it's almost the way I see your chart, it's like career is going to come into focus first. You have a lot of career focus the next few years, like those placements we talked about being activated. And then I would say after that, then I think you're going to be like, you're going to just transform all this stuff. And then I think you're going to have like that 7th house commitment. That's just kind of how I see your placements like fitting together.
So, Samantha Jones.
Basically, yes, exactly. And you can have fun along the way, as Samantha did.
She's
right?
a great role model.
Right? Amazing role model. So then there's that. And then, okay, this is important. Your North Node is like your destiny in this lifetime. And we come to this lifetime with like a lot of knowledge of what's called our South Node. And it's always the opposite zodiac sign from our North Node. It's like the South Node is what we came here. We're good at that already. The North Node is what we're like learning and reaching for our whole life. And like we get there eventually, but it's like, it's just, we feel it. It's active in our lives constantly. So for you, your South Node is in Aquarius and your North Node is in Leo, which means that you're very good at being, Aquarius is like brotherly, sisterly energy. It's like, again, you're great at being like with all the people, with the crowd, like people love you, you love people, like you're comfortable that way. But what you're being pushed towards in this lifetime is the spotlight, which is Leo. And that's your 2nd house of earning money. And like, so that means you're going to make money going towards that Leo North Node of entertaining and being in the spotlight. And then with Aries energy of being that trailblazer. So this is like, it's like your chart is just like, basically it's like, this is Grace becoming this, basically the star where she's shining and projecting herself, her energy, her transformation, creativity, 5th house Scorpio. And then we have 7th house that's like, it's going to be great because you got the moon there and Neptune, but it's like, we got to do all this other stuff. It's just like, you're the focus of your life right now, basically.
I'm gonna be a star.
The star, honey. Well, you already are a star, but it's like, it's just really cool to see how, it's like your voice and your energy is meant to just be like, pulled out.
I really could have used this reading when I was like 10.
Oh. Well, I know, right? I know that's like why I got into astrology because I was like, I need to figure out. So I'm pretty stressed out. I got some anxiety, and it does help with that because like it helps us see your gifts because sometimes people don't tell us what our gifts are. We have to kind of figure it out, and it's fun. I feel like when your birth chart kind of brings out things you might know deep down, but you just kind of need a little confirmation. My
10-year-old sister, no, maybe I'll take her or we'll schedule maybe another one.
Oh my God, absolutely. I will totally read her chart and tell her what's amazing and beautiful about her.
That's great. That would be awesome. I think that would be great.
I'll do that.
I would love to do that.
Happy to. I would love to do that. Yes, it's for the kids. I think that's so good for the kids. I never thought of that. But like, that would be so fun. I'm in whenever you want.
All right, cool.
And then we have, let's see. Is there anything else you want to know about like parts of your life? Because they're literally all right here.
I don't even know what to ask.
Do you want to do the 6th house and the 12th house? Because you share a lot on the podcast that you're on about like mental health, and you guys give a lot of really, people come to you for like advice. And I saw that on the podcast that came out today, which I love the episode y'all put out today. It was so good. Oh my God.
I love that one too. We were, we We stopped being silly and goofy and we got into it. I like when we have those.
Yeah. And I loved how like y'all started off being silly goofy, then you brought that in. Like, I love it. It's like you give a little spoonful of sugar with the medicine. I love it.
Exactly.
It's so good. And people were like really opening up and asking you guys serious questions. If we look at, that's also your 5th house in Scorpio, by the way, of being creative and helping others to transform. Chiron also. Like, so part of what you do is also kind of inspire people and help them through their pain, which is really wonderful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay. So, but your 6th house, okay, so this is you, your day-to-day life. Now you have a fun 6th house. We should all be so lucky to have this because your 6th house is ruled by Sagittarius, which is like the adventurer. It's the traveler. So for you, I mean, you are always going to have a lot of experiences pop up into your life, especially connected to your career with that 6th house, that are going to be exciting and fun and new. So it's going to be like, you're not always going to know what to expect, but that's going to kind of keep you on your toes. And you have Pluto there, which is transformation. So you're going to have a lot of transformation through these adventures that you're going to be going on, which is fun.
Yeah, that sounds exciting and great. And
then it's connected to your 12th house. The 12th house is our subconscious. It can be our like mental health, undoing, all that stuff. Everybody has a planet or a zodiac sign that rules that part of their life. For you, it's ruled by Gemini. And you mentioned before in an episode, I don't know if it was this one or a different one, but you said sometimes you can like overthink. Gemini is all about communication and thinking. It's ruled by Mercury. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God. Like, so yes, that happens. But for you, the best thing would be to do probably what you already do, which is like, get out of your head, get out of your house, take action, Sagittarius. The 6th house balances our 12th house. So if you ever start to have the negative vibes of your 12th house, which Gemini, it's like overthinking. It can just be like thoughts that keep playing and playing. So like Gemini is a great communicator, but in the 12th house, it can make someone really good at communicating with other people, but it could also make them overthink at times. So you just gotta like get out of your head sometimes with that Sagittarius energy. Go on a new adventure, read something. Sagittarius loves to learn things. So that part of your life kind of will balance the rest.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
And then you have Mars and Virgo. And Mars is our like passion, our drive. It is what like fires us up and also like what motivates us when we don't feel motivated. For you having Mars and Virgo, like you are somebody who like will take charge of a situation. I mean, Virgo is the details again. So you're someone like if you say you're going to do something, you do it and you do it to the best of your ability. The 3rd house is also communication. So you, again, are a great communicator. Mars, you can communicate forcefully. And also, if you ever need more motivation, you are someone who especially, because Virgo rules like wellness and like health and all of that, you're especially someone who connects to yourself physically because Mars is like, right, like where we get that energy. And because Virgo is an earth sign and it's all about the physical health, you're someone who like, if you took a boxing class or you did something, if you weren't feeling motivated, it like brings your life force energy up. So everybody, you just have to look to your Mars if you feel unmotivated. And that will tell you what you need to like get your spark going. Basically. And it's different for everybody. So that's, so that's kind of your placements in a nutshell. And that's a lot of info. Just like,
I know it's really cool though. I really like this was really awesome to hear.
I'm so glad. Yeah. Okay, so your astrocartography is like you take a map and there's like a computer program that does it. You put in someone's birth information and then it draws these lines all across the map. Some vertical, some horizontal, whatever. And then you click on a certain city. And what it does with all the calculations is it tells you where this activates your birth chart. It's like, it's advanced astrology for sure, but it's like where your birth chart is activated when you're in this location. It's also called locational astrology. And so it's the idea that different places will bring out a different vibe. And have you noticed that to be true? I've noticed that in my life.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Like I feel
Even
different
in
here.
different boroughs in New York.
Right. You're like, I got different lines going through here. So for you, of course, I did New York City and Boston first.
Oh, cool.
Because where you live and where you're from, something crazy that I've noticed, and I did this too in my chart, we sometimes will live on the line that is the same from where we were born, where we were raised. For you, that's the case. For me, that's the case as well. So here is the energy of both New York and Boston for you. So both of these locations intersect with your Mars IC line. So I'm just going to read what the little thing is from the computer. The position of the planet Mars on your IC line can lead to controversies at home with your family. So in your immediate surroundings, there can be times of unrest or tension. Your relationships with your parents and sometimes children, if you have any, can be strained. This is a place where you may experience different surprises. There can also be difficulties in your professional life when you're dealing with public offices or authority figures. Your purely personal dealings fare much better here. So like your friendships, your business contacts, as do renovations or constructions in your home. A stay along this axis can provide a strong impetus, so like that inspiration, for you to penetrate the deep unconscious layers of your psyche and reactivate forgotten patterns of your early childhood. I know that sounds really deep. Things like therapy and stored anger, repressed emotions. These types of things can lead to a radical conclusion of past issues in this place. So both of these places kind of tap you into like, almost like your inner child wounds. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds deep, and I'm sorry if that went
it's
too deep. Yeah, it's Mars is an interesting place to be activated because it will motivate you, but sometimes it motivates you from a place of like wanting to overcome things. It's not always like a lighthearted energy, right? So for you, New York and Boston, I feel like, you know, they've made you who you are, which is great. Mars, we all want our Mars energy to be sparked. We all want to be motivated to achieve and be who we're supposed to be, but it's not always the easiest placement, right? Okay, so moving along to other places that are a little bit more lighthearted and fun for you. So Los Angeles, okay? Los Angeles is actually really good for you. So LA.
Oh, I'm going to be a star.
She's going to be a star in LA. She's gone. Bye.
Fuck Broadway.
Yeah. She's over Broadway. She's going to be a Hollywood star. A starlet. Okay. So for you, Los Angeles actually intersects with your moon MC line. The MC line is your career. The moon is your like emotions. So it's like really positive. Have you been to LA lately? What was the?
I went back in April.
How do you feel when you're there? Before I read this, I want to hear your how you feel.
I will say I didn't like it, but the only reason I didn't like it is because it's not as fun as New York. But I always say if I lived there, I feel like I'd have a better head on my shoulders and get to work.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the intersection with your MC line, career. And you have your moon in Capricorn, which is like the business sign. So you'd be like on your shit. Okay, so here's what it says. Along this line, your private and social lives combine well. You may also appear more prominently in the public eye. It can be difficult to keep intimate secrets hidden, though. You strive for public recognition and you seek fulfillment in your social status here. You're more sensitive to the collective needs and you have a feel for the demands of certain situations. You have a finger on the pulse and put your knowledge to good use in your professional life. It would be ideal for you to work from home here. The special energies of these regions are also suitable for activities related to running a guest house or a hotel. Okay. The dynamic, if you ever wanted to rent out some property that you purchased, there you go. Could be the future.
I think I got a new business.
Maybe after that Saturn return, when that cash comes in.
I'll never own property.
She's like, I have a few properties in LA that I rent out. Hey, honestly, this could be the future that we're reading. The dynamic energy of the moon here promotes rapid turnover, ensuring a positive reception of any enterprise with large parts of society. Undertakings here require an unwavering attitude, endurance, and fortitude. Undertakings that require an unwavering attitude, endurance, and fortitude. So anything you have to really like put your nose to the grindstone, that's not beneficial for you, because this is more of an emotional fulfillment career place, not so much a hard work place, which is kind of nice.
So not like a Hollywood blood sacrifice kind of thing?
No, I don't think you would be used for any blood sacrifices. Shocking. A stay at this place could bring a greater awareness of your subconscious motivations. You thereby could gain insight into hidden dimensions of your psyche, and you begin to see how the subtle influences stemming from your mother have affected your social and professional development. You learn to distinguish between your own inner motives and the outside influences. Wow, that is deep. The Moon MC line. Do you feel like you experienced any of that stuff when you were there, of feeling like, so you said you felt motivated. Did you also feel like creatively, like you were able to kind of, I don't know, like, did you feel like things were happening quickly creatively there for you in a positive way?
I will say.
I mean,
like, the last time I was there, I was in like a creative rut, but like,
okay, interesting.
I did, but I say it all the time. It's like, if I were to live there, I feel like I would just really do well, because there's no distractions there.
Interesting.
Everybody Cali sober.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, then another place that we looked at, Chicago. Okay, because you were just in Chicago, looking beautiful, posting photos, doing a live show that was really well received. Like, it was a good vibe, right?
It was.
Okay, so here is what is crazy. This is your Moon's node and IC line. Your Moon's node IC line. This is a place for you to retire. So your interest lies in personal and familiar things. You are surrounded by trusted people and enjoy the memories of the past. Occasionally, there may be the need for recognition, power, and public involvement, but deep in your heart, you know that nothing surpasses the feelings of being secure here. So you can discover the hidden layers of your soul here. You are full of feeling, appreciate comfort, and discover the meaning of a domestically reclusive existence. Here you find yourself and recognize that your striving and wanting was sometimes dictated by your social expectations. You can realize that you are pursuing other people's goals, not your own, and you liberate yourself from duty and responsibility, become modest, and reflect on your own simple pleasures. Now, again, this is like generated from the computer, so it's why it's a little, I wouldn't necessarily word it like this all the time.
Modest, simple pleasures.
Modest and simple pleasures. Oh my God. But basically, I think what it's saying is, like, you here in this place, it's like you're surrounded by familiarity and like appreciation for who you are as a person. And it's not about like the striving and like who somebody is or whatever. It's about like, you feel like it's about who you really are, and like people get you. Did you feel like that in Chicago?
I'm not gonna lie. We were saying that like it would be a great place to have a family.
Yep.
Which kind of checks out on that. Like, we said, like, I think when I'm done with wherever I go, like, I'll just settle down in Chicago.
I love it. Oh my God, Grace. That's amazing.
Crazy.
Right there on that moon line. Oh my God. Well, I love that. I love Chicago too. I've spent some time there. I have like a good friend that lives out there, and I love the people and just the vibe there. It's like there's stuff to do. It's a city, but it also is like a smaller town feel at the same time.
Yeah. It's like, what I say is like, it's a happy mix between Boston and New York.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to say Dallas and New York because I'm from Dallas. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, totally.
That's cool. That's really cool. Okay. Is there any other place that you wanted to look at? Or are those like the main ones that
those were actually the main ones. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we got that. And then last but not least, we got the tarot, unless you have any questions about any of that stuff. I know I just like threw a lot at you.
No, I'm just retaining it all up in this.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Thank you for coming on. Oh my God. Okay, so I have some cards here. If you do want to ask a question, this is like a little different. Now this is getting more into like some divination stuff, whatever. So, and it is just intuition. I don't try to like work with spirits or do anything weird, by the way. Because some people are like, what?
That's cool if you do.
Thank you. If we want to contact the spirit of Grace O'Malley from the 1500s, I tried to find her birth date. She's already here. You're looking at her.
Yeah.
You're actually looking at her.
Yeah. Well, she needs to get out of my Google search. I'll tell you that.
You just showing up with that pirate water and swashing.
Just pirate after pirate. I'm like, dude, come on.
Have you ever dressed up as a pirate for Halloween?
My first birthday, 4 days old.
Oh, how cute. Well, I guess your parents knew. They were like, she obviously has the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you have any questions? Or we could just do general, like what's supposed to come through for you?
You know what? I'll regret it if I don't ask. Let's go like love life.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next in love? Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm going to do past, present, future. Because I feel like that helps us to kind of ground down. When you see the past, you're like,
it's not great. It doesn't sound like it's really great.
No. Honestly, I also have Chiron in the 5th house. Had a great time dating. Got my heart broken a few times dating. Got married like later in life as well. So I think it's good. Let's just see. Oh, okay. When they just start flipping. So in the past, 8 of Cups, walking away from something. So this tells us that like there was someone in your life, either internally you walked away from them, or there could have been a talk of like a commitment. But whatever it was, there's a sense that within the last 6 months, you walked away or left something, a person, a mindset. There was some sort of realization that you had when it comes to your love life. Does that seem true?
Yeah. Say so.
Okay. Let's see the present. If not, you can tell me, by the way.
Something comes to mind. That must mean something.
Okay. And then, okay, let's see present for you. What about the present? What's going on now? What is the energy surrounding Grace's love life right now? Like rolling that dice. The Fool. Ooh, okay, I like this. This is a fresh start and a new beginning. I know people. Okay, by the way, you are not the only person that said like the Fool. What? But it's like, you know, like that song, like, oh God, I do not want to sing. Like when you're happy like a fool. That's the feeling. It's like carefree. That's what that's what it means. This comes from like ancient France. Ancient France.
Stand-up joke just wrote itself.
Okay, good. Yeah. You use that one, girl. 8 of Cups in the past, walking away from something. You're having a fresh start in this current moment where you're at right now. You're in an energy of like complete fresh start. So the Fool is like it's the 0 card, which means that you're really starting from that clean slate. But the idea here is to have the energy of the Fool. Like she has her head up to the sky. Like it's just like feeling like anything is possible. Like that's where you're kind of supposed to be right now. Interesting. Because something must be coming next. What's coming next then? Something's got to be coming if you're in Fool energy. Because it's always the beginning of a new journey. See. And you know, like when you're a kid and you just like have positive vibes, like nothing bad has happened. Nobody's like shattering your dreams yet. That's the Fool. So you're just like, all right. Yeah. The universe wants you to just be in that open place, something new. Okay,
rock out with that.
Okay, what's coming next? Let's see. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So there is going to be a situation, a person. 10 of Pentacles could represent someone at work, which, you know, or someone you meet through work. But the 10 of Pentacles is known as like a yes card. It's a positive card. So this tells us that there is something that is brewing for you. And I would say this is in the next 6 months, because I like to like kind of go in 6-month increments. But if you stay in this energy of the Fool, if you're open, if you put yourself out there, there's a sense that there is someone that you're going to connect with. And the Pentacles, we'll get a clarifier on like who this person could be. But the Pentacles tells us that there is something having to do with your work, money. Maybe you meet them while you're traveling for work. Let's get a clarifier there. But it is a yes card.
No, all right.
So there's going to be something happening.
The Fool is looking good.
The Fool is looking good. The Fool's happy because they're heading towards the 10 of Pentacles. Let's see. Is there anything in particular you want to ask about this person?
I can't think of who
what they would be like.
be.
Yeah, let's just see what comes through then. What's
Not even from an HR standpoint and because I'm at work, but.
Because I'm literally at work too. Maybe it's someone you meet while you're doing something for work. Or it could be someone that's just really successful and comes through as a 10 of Pentacles person. I don't know. Something having to do with money, though. Yeah, let's get another one. That can't be bad. Ace of Swords. Ooh, okay. 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. This could be an air sign. This could be a Libra. It could be... because swords are air signs. So this could be someone who's either like a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini. This is describing that person. Ace of Swords, there's a crown on top, victory, you have Pentacles. I feel like this is somebody who's in like an authority position, not necessarily over you, just maybe like in their life. They could be a little older than you. They could be really successful. Let's get one more, maybe a couple more info. How's Grace going to meet this person? Or what should she look out for about them? How will she recognize them?
Seems like we're building my dream pal.
Well, you also have Capricorn 7th house. So that means that like you probably will, if you do commit to somebody, it will be someone who has these qualities. Maybe they're coming through sooner than later. Queen of Swords. Okay. Now this is representing you. Interesting. Okay. So the Queen of Swords is like a very powerful figure. I definitely would say this would represent someone with a 7th house Capricorn. This is someone with really great boundaries. I feel like this is describing how you're going to interact with this person. You might be like almost taken aback at first by them, especially if they are this like super successful person, maybe a little older. Like I said, could meet them in a work setting when you're not really expecting to meet someone. You could be traveling for work and run into them. But I feel like you're almost going to be like, you're going to have your guard up a little bit. But I think you got to try to balance it with this Fool energy. Get another one.
This is fascinating.
Justice card. This is my Libra card. Are you about to meet a Libra? Wow, Grace. I think you might be about to meet I think you might be about to meet somebody substantial.
Oh, wow.
Like, meaning like someone that you're going to like take notice of. Justice card's also about balance. So they're a balanced individual. It's also a reminder for you to stay balanced as you pursue this connection and to keep your boundaries going. Don't be afraid to be the Queen of Swords. Like, don't be afraid to have an extra boundary. It's not going to hurt the connection. It's kind of what this is saying. Okay, let's get another love life card. I don't know. I'm just kind of fascinated by this now.
I feel like I should be kicking my feet up in the air.
Page of Cups, a new emotional beginning. Okay. So according to this tarot reading, yes, there is someone on their way. It's going to look a lot different from what you've had in the past. I was talking about the transformation. It could already be here. You could have already gone through the transformation. You might be doing it sooner than your Saturn return.
I'll be damned.
Yes, victory. Yeah, girl. Okay. You'll have to tell me if you've got to tell me if you meet someone in like 6 months. I'm be like, holy shit. Oh my God.
I'm just going to like sit on park benches and just like wait.
You're like, I am in my Fool era. Okay. I'm saying, yes, I am open to new experiences. It's also, the Fool's also about like taking things at face value and not bringing like old. This might be what that 8 of Cups was. The 8 of Cups can also be like walking away from like old experiences. Because sometimes those can like linger in the back of our minds. Like when we've had a bad dating experience or like a bad ex-boyfriend or just like if someone's hurt us or whatever, we can kind of have that in the back of our mind and like hold on to it. Then it affects our ability to like open up to the next person or get as excited as like, or just say yes. Like the Fool would just say yes to a date. It can make us second guess ourselves. But this basically was saying like, there's someone coming who's like very positive for you and to like trust your intuition. If you feel it, don't let any of like the doubts from the past or anything that's happened before now, don't let that in, because you have that Page of Cups, which is like a total emotional new beginning with the Fool card. It's almost like a new era of love and relationships for you is starting like now. So this is all new.
Better than therapy.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh my God.
Great news.
Good. Oh my God. Do you want, okay, so that's good. So that's what's coming up. Love that. Just stay in that Fool energy. Forget the past. Let it be a clean slate. Take yourself seriously. Queen of Swords. Have those boundaries up, but also be open and excited. Okay. Love it. That's the advice. That's the vibe. And you'll recognize the person because they will be rich. Apparently.
Oh, okay. Huge.
Apparently 10 of Pentacles and like rich and smart. And they have a crown on. So I don't know. Wouldn't it be crazy if you met someone like at a parade and they were wearing a crown?
That would be nuts.
Like literal.
I would like, do people consider this? Oh, but this is like spiritual, right? I was going to say I'd convert to whatever this may be.
Like I'll convert.
Wait, I'm a believer.
Oh my God. Yes. Do you have, okay, so is there any other question that you have?
Halloween. Well, no, that's not my question, but it could be Halloween.
Oh my God.
I better get my ass back to the city that weekend.
Or would you meet him in Chicago? I don't know. You don't have any plans to go back there right now.
No, not currently. I will be in Austin.
Oh, in Austin, Texas on Halloween?
Halloween weekend, yes.
Oh, we should look at that for you, for your chart, your astrocartography. It's like Venus line going directly through there.
Yeah.
You meet a man in a crown. You're like, you're the one. And I'm the fool for you.
The movie.
It's like, okay. That's my lady. Okay. Do you have any other questions about anything else besides that? Or do you want to leave it there? Whatever you want. It's up to you.
What do people usually ask for?
Sometimes they'll say just like a general message, like, what do I need to know right now in my life to like move myself forward? Sometimes they'll ask about like a career thing. They'll be like, what's going on? Like, what's going to happen next in my career? Or like, just all kinds of questions. Sometimes they'll ask about family, just anything really.
Okay. I liked what I heard about the career thus far, and I don't think I want to.
Just leave it. Put a pin in it.
I think I just kind of want to leave it.
Let it be happy. I like that.
Let that be ambiguous.
Yep. I like that too.
That's good.
We just know good things are coming.
I just found my perfect match. So I think I'm like
life is good right now. Okay. Then you know what? The cards have done their job. We don't need any more info.
Fantastic.
Why mess up a good thing?
Yeah, why?
Oh my God. Grace, you are the best. Thank you so much for coming on here. That was really fun. I loved getting to read your chart.
Thank you so much. This was so awesome. Like I said, it's better than therapy. I'm a spiritual being now. And I am a believer. Not a believer, a believer. in the religion of in the Cards and Stars podcast. I think that would be he's a believer. Oh my God. You're too funny. Well, okay. So will you tell everybody where they can find you? I'm sure everybody probably already listens to Plan Bri and already follows you on Instagram. But if they don't yet, please tell us where they can follow you and keep up with everything you're doing. Any comedy things you may have coming up. I don't know. You're always up to something. I know. I've always got something cooking. So, because my career is just really taking off right now, apparently. And it's going to continue to over the next few years. We'll keep our eye right here. So you can follow me Instagram, TikTok, Grace K O'Malley, and I do believe I will be doing a set for New York Comedy Week at the Stand. Oh my gosh! Okay, I think fun. That's the words. Money moves. There's that Aries energy being solo on stage. That Leo second house making money. Okay, and I'm a star, and she's a star, honey. We knew that. We knew that already. You have star quality. Okay, cool. So great. We'll keep our eye there, and then people can go get tickets, all that, just by going to your Instagram because you'll post about it, right? Yep. Cool. All right, awesome. Grace. Thank you so much. You're the best. Thank you so much. And if you want to send me the info for your little sister,
feel free to
Yeah, I
send me
would
that
love to do that.
info. I can create her chart. And if you want to do a Zoom with like the two of you, I can get on there with her and basically just tell her about like, you know, I'll little kidify it for 10.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, is that like something that you can do for kids or?
I can. What I would probably just do is say like, I would look at like the different positive qualities. So I'd be like, your first house is this. So like, here are some of your talents, and like, just kind of basically let her like ask questions. And we could, if you think she would benefit from it, then I could definitely
I really think she would. I think she would like really. I think she'd like really like, just jump really into it and like have it be like a cool hobby for her, because she doesn't really know what she's up to.
Okay, yeah.
She can totally use it.
10's
She's
a
like
kind of
me
a
when I
hard.
was 10.
Yeah. No, I get that. I was like super shy when I was a kid too. And like, I probably would have really benefited from like someone telling me what I was good at and like just positive things about me to get my mind right. Okay.
Yeah. I think it'd be
we
great.
can totally do that. Totally.
Is that something you'd want to do? I totally understand if you don't want to do kids. Okay.
I would love to. I was a nanny for many years and I love kids. So I'd be like happy to do it. Yeah. I think that'd be like really good for a little kid. It'd be fun. So yeah, so we'll just email about that. And then I'll look at Austin for you too.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh yeah. Wait, one last thing before you go. This is just for you, not for like podcast stuff. Just I forgot to tell you this. You also have Jupiter sextiling your midheaven from the end of July of 2023 until the end of March 2024. So that's another like major period for you. Jupiter expands everything. The midheaven is your career and like your public image. So that is like huge for you as far as like career. Like you basically have just like a ton of things that are just blowing up your career now over the next few years. But like this is a really positive time because Jupiter is the giver of gifts and luck. So this is like a time to lean into like confidence. I don't know. I'll actually just put this in an email to you. I'm just gonna.
Okay, cool.
So you have it because it's pretty detailed, but it's pretty good. I feel like you should know.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, girl.
I love it. This was great.
I'm so glad. This was a lot of fun, and I will talk to you soon, girl. Take care.
Right.
Have fun being the fool out there.
I'm going to be a fool.
Let it happen. All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of In the Cards and Stars. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications, and also join me over on YouTube at the Brit Madrid YouTube channel because we do lives where you guys can actually ask your questions about your own birth charts. All right, you guys, I will see you next week for an all new episode. We're doing Halloween, then getting into some spooky Scorpio themed shows, and you don't want to miss it. All right, see you then.
Yay Networks.